guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with this week's Teen Mom recap. Before I get started with this week's video, I would love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every single week about the newest episode of Teen Mom the Next Chapter. I recap the episodes that air on MTV and make them a lot shorter, sweeter, and funnier. So if that's something you want to watch, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this week's video. Girls, I heard a rumor. Amber's back! Yay! Where have you been? I had a very long, much-needed break. I needed to find myself without cameras. I thought I was done, but I just missed everyone so much. Oh my god, how's Leah? Is she dating? Our kids are high schoolers now. We're so happy you're back. Really? That's how MTV chooses to bring Amber back? With these lies? Amber did not choose to take a little leave of absence. Amber called Ashley and said that she wanted to mutilate her. And why? Because Ashley was twerking in a car or some shit? I will leave a link down below to the entire rant that Amber did. Go watch it. That's why she was gone. MTV was deciding whether or not to fire her. And I guess she cried sorry until they let her back. I hate when they leave this stuff out. And I don't really understand why. I mean, I guess maybe they don't want the Fire Amber petitions to come back into play because they know that a certain percentage of people who watch this show don't follow the online antics, so they won't know about this whole thing that makes her look really bad. Brianna and Devon arrive to Texas. Devon says, home sweet home. Home. Just because your last name is Austin doesn't mean you're from Texas. Devon is a Florida man through and through. The therapist, Nick, comes out and then he hugs Brianna and Devon. So, are you guys curious about each other? Yes, but with me, it's hard because there's so much that has happened. This is not a random guy that I can just fuck and never talk to again. Like Lewis, or Javi 2, or Bobby, or Shock, or John. After rehab, yeah, he got his shit together. But one thing he said he was gonna do was start helping me, and I'm still waiting on that. Devon, what would that consist of? Well, since I've been home, I haven't gotten my license fixed or gotten a car. And why not? You need a car in Florida. I kept gambling the money away. And that car is keeping you from going to in-person gambling anonymous meetings as well. So, how do we make this car a reality? Brianna says, hello, tell me the amount, I'll get it done. Devon, Brianna is extending an arm to help you. You have opportunities to help each other. This is exactly why I don't like when people rag on Brianna. Like, oh, she keeps Nova from Devon. She doesn't support Devon. What are you talking about? Like, everyone forgets that she let him live with her family rent-free. She lets him pick up Nova despite him being late and drunk almost every single time. And now she's willing to give him money to buy a car. And she didn't say loan, she said give. Brianna has tried again and again and again with this man. But again, with addicts, you can't just throw money at the problem. Next scene, Amber is back. Woohoo. Just what everyone has been begging and pleading for. Leah has a doctor's appointment, which of course Christina is the one taking her to. She asks if they can talk about her painful periods at the appointment. Later, Christina brings up to Gary that the doctor suggested birth control to Leah, but just to regulate her periods. Gary rolls his eyes. Meanwhile, while these important discussions are being had, Amber is sitting on her front porch with some rando friend, neither of her kids with her, reminiscing about the good old days. Mom life! How are you at Leah's age? Well, at 14 I was a virgin, at 15 I was a virgin, and at 16 I wasn't. Leah's doing way better than me. It's good that I stepped back when I was having that trouble. It was a mess. I was doing drugs. She could have turned out so much different. Ryan Edwards was found guilty of harassment and was sentenced to a year in probation and to go to rehab. I heard no jail time in that sentence. Probably because the judge's daughter and Ryan were special buddies. In fact, despite the paths of destruction that Ryan left in his wake, he's just sitting on the patio chilling with his parents right now. How are you, Ryan? Glad I'm out. Your dad and I found a rehab for you. Damn, he couldn't even do that by himself, huh? Couldn't even call the insurance company, Google some rehabs. His parents do everything for him. And then this man has the nerve to say, I want to make it clear, I'm not on drugs right now. Actually, Ryan, it's not very clear. In fact, it's about as clear as the swamp water that Janelle and David always post themselves swimming in. Okay, Ryan, but you can't say that you haven't been on drugs in the last 6 months. So, do you want to go? Okie dokie. The words of a man who is dead serious about his recovery. Okie dokie. I don't know how I'm gonna go with this here ankle bracelet on me though. Don't worry, Ryan. Mommy will call the courts and figure that out for you. Macy's been a good support throughout this whole thing. Surprisingly, she texted me today and she said to tell Ryan that he's worth it. It surprised me for sure. Larry says, you need to think of Bentley, Jagger, and Stella. What if something like this happens to Stella? How would you feel? I'm not going to be around forever to watch them. Please promise you'll make good decisions. Say I promise. I promise. Ryan then texts Macy asking to meet tomorrow to talk. Since we're on the rehab train, let's shift over to Christy. She calls Jade and says, how are you? I'm good. Why did you pause? I don't know, Mom. I'm just tired. So Jade chats a little bit on the phone with her mom. It's pretty casual. She's doing well. Jade says, with my parents in rehab, this is the perfect time for me to work on self-care. I got some hair extensions. Does it match? No. Her friend Kirsten says, yes, girl, it's perfect. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a fake friend. Chow would never lie to Jade like this. Basically, Jade chats a little bit to Kirsten about how she plans to start going to Al-Anon meetings. Barr has his court date. His lawyer was able to push back the date 2 weeks ahead of time since Barr's paper wasn't signed. Would have been nice to know that that was a possibility before the flights and the Airbnb were booked, but I guess you can chalk that up to the price of being a certified dumbass. Barr calls to tell Ashley the news. Barr is just happy that he's not going to jail, but Ashley is not thrilled. Well, that's not ideal. Well, I gave that lady who was supposed to sign 2 weeks and she won't prioritize. Yeah, your papers are not her priority. I'ma come home. Anything else? No. Okay, bye. I'm feeling like fuck this wedding. I might as well get my money back. Barr can't even get a paper signed. Gary calls Amber to tell her that Leah's getting birth control. He says that she's comfortable talking about it on camera because it's for her period cramps, not sex. All Amber really says is, I wish my mom would have cared when I was cramping and dying. Because if the conversation isn't about Amber, why even have it? Macy does some kind of video talking about therapy, but I'm really just trying to figure out what door she's standing in front of. Like, I know this raggedy ass door is not one of the ones to her mansion. So where is this? Is she picking up Ryan from the trap house? Macy and Ryan meet inside of a restaurant. You know, I've been here before for my anniversary dinner with Mackenzie. Was it the best ever? Not really. So I go to rehab tomorrow. Where are you going? This place in Austin, Texas. Oh my god. Don't tell me that this is the same rehab that Devon, Barr, Sean, Butch, and Christy all went to. Might as well rename this place the Viacom Center at this point. Or maybe the Teen Mom Dumping Ground. Ryan says, I don't even like myself when I'm fucked up. She says, yeah, I don't like you either. What should we tell Bentley? I think that you should do it, Ryan. He worries about you, and he feels like you're alone. I just get so anxious. My chest feels so tight right now. I got court every other day. I'm gonna be busy. Well, I heard that you were on suicide watch. I'm really worried. You need to talk to someone. What do you even tell somebody? That you're struggling. It will be devastating to a lot of people if you weren't here. I would rather you be a pain in my ass than not be here at all. Ryan starts crying. Devon and Brianna chat after their therapy. How do you think the session went? Good. If you get that car, we can have sex? We can make moves. Progress. You're saving money, right? For sure. I low-key want to stay an extra day, actually. I have some friends out here from rehab. You know what? That's okay. Stay. Hang with your friends. And Brianna and Devon share a hug. Jade goes to a Zoom Al-Anon meeting. She says, I'm very skeptical. I'm in the realm of the unknown. I was just going to listen in this time. It is not filmed, hence the Anon of the Al-Anon. Sean asks, how was the meeting? It was new to me. Better than I thought. And I did speak at the end. People messaged me and welcomed me, and I was crying a lot. Sean says, okay, so you have a better understanding now of why your mom was doing what she was doing? I could tell Jade and Sean want to argue so bad in this scene, but they're holding back for the cameras. No, you're not really supposed to talk about the addict in Al-Anon, Sean. The attention is always on the addict. It's for me, to understand me. Sean really thought this was an opportunity to get some sympathy. T calls Ashley. So, Barr went to court, pissed me off. Well, at least he has no jail time. How long are you gonna be mad at him? I just want to give him a break. You be his wife then, Mom. It's the selfishness and irresponsibility that I'm tired of. Were you reminding him to get the paper signed before the court date? He wouldn't know better if he took my brain out, plugged it into his cerebral cord, and pinged in the information. I'm done being his mom. Yeah, I get it, Ashley. I think he's on the right track, but I wouldn't wait 20 years for it. Good luck. Barr comes back, and Ashley says she wants to yell at him so bad, but she doesn't want Holly to hear it. While Barr talks about the trip, Ashley says, I'd rather be talking about bleaching booty holes than this. Ashley is hilarious. Brianna is back in Florida and meets up with her friend Shirley. Shirley of the 2007 bamboo earrings that look like they're about to rip her ears apart. So Devon decided to stay in Texas to hang out with his rehab friends. We talked about him not having money for a car. I had no problem giving him that. That was the plan. And look what he posted. I'm at the strip club, sponsored by my baby mama. That is the caption of the year right there. And there he is, holding a stack of cash that was supposed to be to fix his license and get a car. Instead, it's going toward twerking ass and stripper titties. Damn. Devon fans, I'd like to hear you defend this. Oh, what? Brianna's just holding this poor man back, right? How is this Brianna's fault this time? I would love to hear it. I'm all ears. Oh, you're struggling, huh? Yet you post a pic like this? I sent him the screenshot. I said, who are you with? His friends in rehab can't go to strip club. They're alcoholics. Actually, that is exactly why they would be at the strip club. And then he posted these comments as if he didn't make that post himself, claiming that he was sponsored by his baby mama. It makes me think, was any of this even real? Him wanting a relationship? Him co-parenting? Shirley says, cut your losses, girl. This was a slap in the face. I was willing to send him as much money as he wanted. Then you want to do stuff like this? Yeah, like I've been saying for years now, Devon is trash. He's like, this is my addict phase. Dude, you're like 30. It's no longer a phase. You're just an addict. Gary talks with Leah about the birth control. So the doctor gave me the prescription, but told me not to have sex. Little weird on the doctor's part. Gary says, guys are sly. If you play, you pay. Yeah. You know, your mom wasn't in school when she got pregnant. She was 17, right? Yeah, but she already stopped going to school before you. So I didn't mess anything up. No, she messed herself up. I'm just saying, if you're gonna rob someone, don't use a gun. What? Be smart. I can protect you better if I know more. Wow, Gary is really bad at this. They really should have had Christina do this. I have no idea what Gary is trying to say. Leah says, I would talk to Christina first. It makes sense. She's a woman and she understands my point of view. Notice how she doesn't say Amber. Then Leah has a confessional scene, which is interesting. She says, I'm lucky I have Christina and my dad to understand me. I don't think that I would have a kid anytime soon. I want to have a chance to go to a good college. Next is Macy. She says, even if me and Ryan want to rip each other's eyes out, if we call each other, we'll be there. And if you ever want an open floor plan in your house, Ryan will be there to knock all the walls down. Ryan packs for rehab and Jen says, got your passy? He says, I got my Kleenex so I can cry myself to sleep. This is so depressing. I'm not gonna let this destroy my relationship with my kids. I gotta keep moving forward. After all, I'm still alive. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom the Next Chapter. We already know how Ryan's gonna do in rehab, but what do you think of him and Macy getting closer together? And how do you feel about Devon spending all his baby mama's money at the strip club? Please, I would love to hear the defenders in the comments. Go ahead and let me know what you think down below, and make sure to subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.